Hey guys, so I'm back with another little pay it forward video. So it's been a while, so I thought I'd bang something up on YouTube, especially with the Christmas season coming. Maybe you're wondering what to get in the sales or what to get for a gift for a fellow gamer. So today I decided to get myself a little Christmas gift to myself. And I decided to invest in a very expensive, precise piece of kit for my Xbox. So I live in the UK, so I got this from Game. So I actually got a pre-owned one, used a bit of game credit and traded my old controller in to actually give you a clue. And actually managed to get this for sort of around the £60 mark. So I've invested in this lovely shiny piece of kit, which is an Xbox One Elite controller. So, I thought I would have a quick video, run you through, and just show you how I'm having it set up really for first-person shooting. So as you know, I'm predominantly a COD player. So this setup is specifically for first-person shooters. Haven't actually tried it and put it into play and put it into action yet. So I'm going to do that sort of at the end of this video, so you can actually see it physically in some of the gameplay and see if my gameplay does actually improve. So this is the setup that I'm going to be going with. So you've got this handy little, first of all, it's probably worth me noting this, but you've got this handy little switch on. So if you look here, just up in the centre, there we are, this switches profiles. So if, say, you're a COD player and a Forza player and you want different setups for both, you can do so. So as you can see, mine looks very much like a standard Xbox controller. So I've got the normal cross on here. I haven't made too many adjustments to the front, but I do have the pedals on the back. So how have I set it up? So all these sticks here, as you can see, they come off and they're actually different sizes. So I'll just show you. So that's the controller without the sticks on, and they're two different. There's actually three different sizes in the case. So there's like a medium, a short, and a long. So this is the long one. This is the short one. I've put my grips back on just to protect the tips. So I've got the long one on the right stick for precision, and I've got the short one for movement, for quick movement, and so I don't have to depress as hard for sprint. So I'll just lock those back on. So it's worth noting as well that all these are on via magnets, so they're not going to come off unless you physically yank them off. So if I just pull the controller up here, you can see there's a fair bit. It takes a fair bit of force to pull that out. So, and obviously I've got these handy little back paddles on here, which we'll talk about in a second. But you can just see there's two little green switches. So there's one here and one over here. You might be able to see those on camera. I'm not 100% sure. Just tip that up in the light so you can see them. Now, what they do is, if I show you the trigger here at the back, so this is the aim and this is the shoot. So if I press that down, you can see that only depresses halfway. Now there was this handy little trick that people used to do back in the day, before these controllers were an apple in Microsoft's eye, ironically. And people would jam a pen top into their triggers. And what it does is it actually confuses the system into thinking that every single shot is the first round that you fired off. Because interestingly enough, the first round that you fire off in any game is that actually comes out of the gun faster. Now, if you were to combine this with the Maddox's Echo Fire as well, where every other round shoots out quicker, you'll find that you're going to get quite a high rate of fire on this. So if I switch these little switches here up, you'll see I'll have my full depression back. So you can see that's a shoot. I'll move my hand out of the way. And it goes all the way down now. And if I flick that switch back up whilst it's in front of you, you can see it only goes down about halfway. It's called a hair trigger, I believe. So perfectly legal for, I think it's legal for competitive play, I'm not 100% sure. But I'm only a casual gamer, so I don't really care, to be quite blunt. So everything else is pretty standard. I mean, like I said, you can pull the D-pad off and it's replaced with, Blue Peter, here's one I made earlier. So it comes with a nice little case, which has still got my little pre-owned sticker on. And if we open that up, you can see that inside. Come on. So put that back. So inside, if you have a look at that, so we've got a cable at the top here for charging, and I'll just tip that in the light. Those are the other extra things that you can add onto the control. So these are different sticks, and this is probably the one that you've seen on all the marketing. This is the extra D-pad, which has actually got 8 directions on it instead of the standard 4. I don't particularly like using this. I don't feel like it gives you the control that you need to... I mean, not that you actually use those much in COD, anyway, to be fair. Not now they've put the stupid thing on it and you don't use the score streaks on it anymore. But you can see where that slots in because it's got the cross at the back, so you can sort of see how roughly how it would work. So what you can actually do with these controls, which is really cool, is in the accessories application on Xbox One, you can actually set up the configuration. You've got these 2 profiles that you can like rename and switch to on the fly and things like that. So for Call of Duty, I've got these back paddles on which we're going to talk about. So these back paddles can be mapped to any of these. So the Y, X, A and B, is it? Yeah, Y, X, A and B. So before, for your stim shot, you'd be pressing this. If you're not playing hardcore, anyway, which I don't tend to play anymore. So now we've got it in a handy little place down here, so that we can just knock it in without taking our finger off the aim or the trigger. And on this one, I'm going to pop the reload, so again I can reload without physically taking my finger off the trigger. And the brilliant thing about this that you can't actually see from the controller is the sensitivity as well. So the sensitivity on these is like really hyped up, and you can really control it through this accessories app. So if you imagine, if you're liking it to, so for my PC setup, I'm a massive advocate of proper gaming stuff. I don't actually have normal kit anymore. So the keyboard's Corsair, it's mechanical, it's got the little Cherry MX switches in it, which are good for responsiveness. It doesn't click, which is a shame. But if you're liking it to a mouse, so if you can just about see there, if I can bring it on. I don't think my cable's going to actually come out far enough for me to do this. I have a little Roccat mouse, so I can do profiles on the fly. There's this flight control thing here that does things. And you can see there, that's changing, that's what's called easy shift. But the brilliant thing about these gaming mice is the DPI increases massively. So if you just buy like a standard mouse, you're looking at about 100 to 300 DPI. This one runs up to about 1500. So it means the accuracy is massively increased. And when you press a button, any button, doesn't even matter whether it's a click or whatever, it actually registers the click sort of a millisecond faster. So if you imagine that you're gaming against someone with a normal mouse, your shot's going to come off before theirs. It's a similar concept with these controllers. So it's almost like the DPI's been like massively ramped up. So the only little sort of addition that me personally I've added to it, because I find it more convenient and I'm sick of buying batteries. So I've hooked it into a game, just a standard gameware plug and play. So for those of you who don't know what plug and play is, it's a little battery pack that sits in the back there. As you can, I don't know whether you can really see that, and it's just up here because I've taken the back door off, and you can actually charge it. So it works a bit more like a PlayStation controller, where you can plug them in and charge them, and you don't have to use batteries. So that'll save me time and money and effort and frustration. To be fair. I mean, for your other 2 back paddles, I'm actually not going to program them in because I'm going to see how the flow goes, like naturally first. But for these other 2 paddles here, you could put grenades on them, or maybe your special equipment, or just anything you think will work for you, really. The really interesting thing as well that someone was discussing with me today when I was actually in game, and it's something I've seen on some of the videos I've been looking for how to configure these things. Some people do prefer to game like this. Now personally, just show you there so you can see my 2 fingers there on there and on there and there. Now technically what that means is that if you can reprogram the way that you play the game, which I don't think I'm able to, you get a massive benefit, because now everything is literally at your fingertips. You are never taking your fingers off the triggers or the sticks, it's because that as daft as it might sound, that little delay between taking your finger off the stick to reload and etc. can sort of cost you. And I would imagine that some people online are playing like that. But yeah. And the last thing I'll talk about is these little. You can see there's enough light. So there's these little rubberized grips here. So before, when I've had controls in the past, like PlayStation controllers more specifically, because they're not actually as durable as the Xbox ones, I've stuck the rubberized grips on them because you get into it, and sometimes you're sitting for a long time, especially if you're in a warm room, you can sweat and it can get a little bit slippy. So these help secure it in place. Plus, if you actually hold up one of these and you compare it to another one, unfortunately I haven't got a normal one to compare it with at the moment because I've had to trade mine in, but these are a lot more weightier. So again, this is a trick with some of the gaming mice. They put extra weights in them and it just feels better, it flows better and whatnot. So yeah, I for the rest of the video I'm going to be actually doing a bit of gaming with this. I'm going to be streaming out tonight to see how this goes. I mean, obviously looking forward to getting into this at Christmas with some of the little Christmas noobs that are going to be popping up. It's Christmas noob time almost, people. Christmas noobs, oh Christmas noobs. But I'll just see how it goes with the regular players for now, because that's what it's going to be like for the rest of the year. It's only going to be a couple of weeks of a bit of a break. So yeah, highly recommended so far from what I've heard. I will give updates as I'm gaming and see how it goes. I'm not convinced that I'm going to get on with this higher stick yet, but apparently it is a lot more precise, so we'll see how that goes. So I am going to go away now. I'm going to get this programmed into my Xbox using my accessories app, and I'll come back and we'll get on with some COD gaming, so I'll see you in there. Right then, folks, so I have spent about I don't know, 4 or 5 hours just sort of playing with the configuration of the controller. So there are one little adjustment that I've made. So I've kept my hair lock triggers on, and all the buttons are assigned normally. I've put my normal small stick back on because I wasn't getting on with the top one, but I didn't think I would. And for the back paddles, I've taken the bottom 2 off because I was catching them far too often. So it doesn't actually take that long for you to reprogram yourself, really, to be using these. So I have this one on the left, so if you look from this side of the controller, and in mirror form. So on this one I have my stim shot and this one's my reload. So now the only thing I have to take my fingers physically off the right stick for are to jump, score streaks and crouch. Which is fine, because I can't really sort of reprogram myself to do anything else with these anyway. So yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to maybe put some of the special equipment on there, if I could ever get used to the other back paddle, if I could not catch it. But I just found that, like, your natural position of the controller, in theory, your fingers should just rest on them. But then, I'm only really supporting the controller with tiny, tiny fingers at the bottom, and it's weightier than the other one, so I'd end up dropping it, or just catching the buttons and whatnot. So I didn't drop it. I'd rather catch the buttons than drop the controller, let's put it that way. So yeah, so I'm going to show you a little bit of gaming with it now. Now I've got my Optimum set up. So, my performance in COD, I will be honest, is quite average. You know, I'm not really a bad player, but I'm not, you know, an intensely good player either. So, this has improved my gameplay, so I have been incredibly happy with it. So before, like, if you look at the camos, this will explain it probably better. So, like your Bloodthirsty, for example, your long shots, these are always the last 2 I get, because these are always the pain in the butt to get for the camo, I find, anyway. Because all these are, like, just pretty much straight kills, double kills, and headshots, yeah, whatever. So anyway, those 2 Bloodthirsties were from yesterday's gaming session. Because I unlocked this yesterday. So, basically, what what I'm trying to say, what I'm going around the houses to say, is that, you know, the bloodthirsties are actually popping up a lot more often now. And I have had, like, 5 kills on the bounce without dying. It's just that they've been across rounds for, like, control and stuff like that. So, and the long shots are pretty, it's just knowing where they are, so no controller is going to fix my stupidity, unfortunately. So, yeah, right. We'll jump in there, and we'll have a look at some gameplay. By the way, it's also double XP. I don't know if anyone's noticed this weekend. Also, Black Market is ending in 2 days. Am I going to make this in 2 days? I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I could buy them whilst it's half price, but I would need $34.99, which, you know, I'm not really prepared to pay. I mean, it's good that it's half price for a day, which is cool. Just have to see how far I can get in the day. Okay, so let's jump in and I'll show you a few rounds. So, Mercenary Capture Mosh Pit. Capture Mosh Pit, but with no parties. So, just so we all are on the same page about what that is. I don't think there's anything new since I mean, obviously there's all this sort of stuff, but I mean, we knew this was coming anyway, so I suppose it's not really worth me going over this. I mean, if anyone would like me to go over it and would like to, you know, see a video where I explain all this kind of shit, which is pretty much self-explanatory anyway, then I will, but you need to let me know. Progress-wise, level 48, just about to prestige again, yay. I am on the hunt for my second to last camo. My second to last gold camo. I'm going to miss this gun. I love this gun, which is a shame. Shame I can't go back to it till I get the diamond, really. I probably won't push for the dark matter, to be honest, because I shall demonstrate. Tactical rifles and the 3-shot kind of annoy me. Light machine guns I could probably get on with. Sniper rifles I hate. And you also have to get all this secondary stuff as well, and I hate using secondary kit. So, you know, I don't know, shotguns, launchers, melee, and I'll be damned if I'm going out there and, you know, running around to kill people with a knife for God knows how long. So as cool as the dark matter camo is, it's not really that, well, it is important, I suppose, but it's, you know, I don't know, I can live without it. It's pretty, but it's just like the Inferno camo from last game with some, but, you know, like, not the last game, the game before, with, you know, just with a reactive side, really. And you have to unlock the reactive side, so that's even more effort, really. So, right, enough of my waffle. Let's crack on with it. Also, can anyone explain what the influx of noobs is just before Christmas? This doesn't usually happen just before Christmas. This happens at Christmas. And, oh my god, what level are you? Ooh, interesting. Okay, I hope you're on my side. But anyway. Look. 6. 44, 43, 41. What's going on? It's the great noob invasion of 2018. Okay, so if I have any decent kills, good plays, etc., I'll try to explain what's going on with this thing. So that you're sort of clued up.
About fucking time.
That was, I feel that was a bit rude. Roller rink camo on a sniper rifle seems to completely defy the object and be incredibly silly. Aren't snipers supposed to hide?
Hard point.
Okie dokie, off we go.
Secure the objectives. Hard points identified.
Do you know what? I'm not going to stand there. Every time I stand there, I get shot. So we're gonna try something different.
Hardpoint locked down. We've pulled ahead.
Okay.
Sheriff is down.
So straight away, I don't know if you can actually tell from just watching this, but the firing rate is improved. And that was me tapping the paddle there to. I know you're in there, dude.
Hardpoint identified.
And this way.
Deploy beacon online. Hardpoint is secure.
I'm not convinced they're not going to come in behind me.
Get a UAV on station above.
Ah! So as you can see, my hairlock trigger is on my left as well. And it's still zoomed in and it's sat there whilst I'm sort of holding it down, which is good. Is anyone gonna come anywhere near me so that I can actually demonstrate this? Got the hairlock trigger on the right hand stick as well.
Hardpoint located. Hostiles have the hardpoint. Drop neutralized.
So that was the stim shot off the back paddle. The back paddles, interestingly enough, are actually sort of a lot more sensitive than the standard stuff. So, like the standard buttons, because of they're actually programmed into the controller. Where they come out, you'll see if you look at the back of the controller. They're programmed into an incredibly small space, which gives them sort of a greater sensitivity. Shit, 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 shit! No, no, no. Yeah, which gives them sort of a much better sensitivity. So you only literally have to tap them. You don't have to push them all the way in, which is handy. I should have really been concentrating then instead of talking to you. So as you can see, we're on the 4th hard point now, and I haven't died yet. I would check my KD, but I don't want to. I don't want someone to sneak up on me. Yeah, so we're on 4. So this could give me my next bloodthirsty, to be fair. It's just that literally no one is coming anywhere near me for me to shoot them.
Firing sensor dart.
And I am in sort of more of a cautious mode at the moment.
Hardpoint identified.
I am being a bit more cautious at the moment because I'm trying for these bloodthirsties.
Hostiles have captured the hardpoint. Hardpoint is secure. It's nearly in the bag.
Which, I mean, I should have got. I should have a bloodthirsty by now. I have shot everyone with the gun. There we go. Oh, come on, 25 for a chopper. I want the damn chopper.
Hardpoint locked down.
Come and get the hard point, crying out loud. What are you playing at?
Hardpoint located.
Oh, you got me kidding me! 25 off! Ah! Damn!
Hardpoint locked down.
Unauthorized care package deployment.
Be advised. Hostile tech deploy beacon
If
active.
this isn't an attack chopper now, I'm gonna feel particularly robbed. Fuck off. That makes me feel less robbed, I suppose. So yeah, 5 to 1 now. Bear in mind, I'm not running around like a mad person trying to shoot everyone purely because I'm after those 5 kills without dying.
Testing hardpoint. Hardpoint contested.
Damn it.
Testing hardpoint. Hardpoint identified.
Usually I would be running around doing more damage, to be fair, but
Drone squadron at TC
Battery
expired.
requesting UAV.
I'm just sort of cautiously sitting in corners and things at the moment.
Testing hardpoint. Hardpoint lost.
See, now if my aim would have been slightly better there, I probably could have easily, if I was a better player, have, you know, popped off.
Hardpoint is secure. Testing hardpoint. Hardpoint lost. Hardpoint is secure.
Yeah, I probably could have easily popped both of their heads off with a headshot, but my aim isn't as good as I would like it to be. The controller can improve some things, but not all.
Hardpoint located. We've lost the hardpoint.
Like, there's a good example, I suppose. You bitch. Right, that's a good example. Did you see the responsiveness there? So I saw them out the corner of my eye, spud round, and still had time to shoot them.
Hardpoint is secure.
Oh, really? Yeah, this controller can't protect against hellstorms,
Hostile
unfortunately.
UAV circling.
Assault through.
So there we go, 15 to 6.
Another day, another dollar.
And not a bad overall score, to be fair. Not brilliant, but not bad.
Threat neutralized.
I think it also helped that I had a pretty decent team there. I mean, if you look at the score lines on some of them, that's shocking, actually. Well, that's one more tier I don't have to buy. 2 more tiers I don't have to buy. What is that reserve guarantee and how do I get to it? Anyway. Need to get it down to like 24 levels, ideally. I'll happily pay for 24,000 points. Actually, no, it's 50 odd levels, isn't it? Because it's double. Yeah, okay. I'm not really making much sense, am I? I feel like I didn't really prepare for that. Oh,
Scanning all frequencies.
fine.
Hardpoint.
Right.
Secure the objective.
Long shot time.
Hardpoint located. Hardpoint locked down.
Which is actually good to show you how it performs at range. So... Will you get out of my way? Urgh. Not happy.
Point lost.
Are you coming around here? Yes, you are. And that's the only problem with me trying to get these long shots.
We've lost control. Be advised, hostile attack deploy beacon active.
I bet that would have been a long shot.
Enemy UAV above. Hardpoint identified. Hardpoint locked down.
Oh, really? Who camps nowadays? Who does that?
We've taken control.
Have that. Deserve that.
Good night. Firing so dark.
Nope. Nope. Oh, okay, maybe yes. I bet.
Hardpoint located.
What's that? That's where you were.
Get a bit down. Kill.
Hardpoint locked down. Testing hardpoint.
Ah, no. And that's what happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you catch the paddles.
Attack deploy beacon online.
Come on. Come on, get in the window.
Hardpoint located.
Do you ever get that feeling they're all behind you?
Hardpoint locked down. Entanglement set.
Oh, you lucky. Really? I've just come from there.
UAV above.
I want my damn long shots.
Testing hardpoint. We've lost the hardpoint. Hostiles have established multiple UAVs. Hostiles have established multiple UAVs.
Sensor dart away.
Ah, there's somebody in there. Really? I want to get them.
Hardpoint located.
People don't go in this little room anymore. Oh, they are. They're in there. Six, I will let you know I'm here.
Hardpoint lost.
Oh, come on. Nope, can't go that way.
Q store is open.
Enemy UAV above.
If you're not gonna actually shoot him, let me shoot him.
We've
Excuse me.
lost the lead.
You've already nicked my rooming off me, don't get in my way.
beacon online. Net call. Hostile storm inbound.
That's coming straight for me.
Hardpoint located. Enemy UAV above. Hostiles have established
Bit
multiple
of that
UAVs.
bullets here.
Hardpoint locked down.
That was one of them.
Hostiles have established multiple UAVs. We have the advantage.
Oh well, that was pointless.
Hostiles have established multiple UAVs. Hardpoint.
Now they are all the hard
We've
points.
lost the hardpoint.
Now there you are. Oh, really?
Hardpoint identified.
I wonder if that would be a long shot from there. Probably not.
Hardpoint locked down.
Ah. Interesting. They're all behind me, aren't they? No, I thought I was quite well hidden there.
Close.
Apparently not so much.
Hardpoint lost. Be advised, hostile attack deploy beacon active.
Where am I? Ah.
Hostile UAV circling. Hostiles have established multiple UAVs.
Problem is, when you've been up here a while trying to get these, they know you're here.
Hardpoint identified.
Like that. You need to look up here for me.
Multiple hostile
I know what
UAVs
you're doing. Seriously, you must think I'm stupid.
Secure.
Hostile firebreak. Kill.
Reactor core shut down.
Sensor dart away.
3-on-1. Ugh. It was never going to happen, was it really?
Intel wins wars.
Hardpoint located. Hostile captured the hardpoint.
Nope. I'm just collecting bodies in this room.
That's all packs. Come get it.
They're done.
Hardpoint locked down. Activating barricade.
Damn dog.
Lost the hardpoint. Hardpoint located.
Hostile firebreak. Kill.
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
Battery down.
He's standing in front of me because now.
Targets.
Enemy UAV above.
Aha! There's one.
East enemies down. Good night.
There's another.
UAV standing by.
Hardpoint locked down.
UAV established overhead.
This'll knacker someone's day.
Established. Angels 10.
Come on.
Hard point located. Hostiles have the hard point.
Oops.
Enemy tagged.
I hate, like, not contributing to the game objective, but...
Ajax dropped.
Losing the fight. Hostile tac deploy beacon online.
I like to see it as guarding the perimeter.
Hostile UAV circling.
Are they dead? No. No, they are not.
Force a kill.
Okay, well that's not too bad.
AOR is lost.
6 out of
Mission
10.
is Charlie Fox.
Oh, that makes me feel even worse. If I could have been in just one of the hard points, we could have won. Cough it up. I have no idea where I can get long shots in this, so... Quickly! Quicker than that. Come on! Yes, yes, I'm gonna presume. Four long shots and 2 bloodthirsties. We can do this. We can do this. Need to do it before I prestige. Because I don't want to have to use my unlock token so early on. I want to at least have some progress under my belt with this before I use it. I'd like to use it for the primary gunfighter, but I digress. Oh, really? Okay, folks, that probably is a good time to leave it there. So, I've seen a few different styles and the sort of responses to the controller. Particularly, what you need to pay attention to is the way that these things snap. Sorry, is the way that these things snap. So, as you can see, it's pretty much like an instant return. Now, if you were to film, I'm not going to do this because it's far too much effort, but if you were to film this in slow motion next to a standard controller, you'd see that these snap back a lot quicker, which does give you sort of some of an advantage. Now, that's just one profile as well. I could come on and I could do something for Forza. I could do something for... I don't know why, but I could do something for Spyro if I, wanted to. I mean, like, for example, I suppose Spyro is a good example. Basic game, made in the 90s, not many controls. If I were to be playing Spyro, for example, I'd probably take these flappies off because I wouldn't need them. I know a lot of people tend to play like Assassin's Creed with the paddles off. Now, the really cool thing about the driving games that I've literally only discovered the other day is now I hate doing manual driving on things like Forza. I'd much rather do the automatic gearing, which is ironic because in real life I can't stand automatic cars. I'd much rather have control and be driving manually. But you could actually attach your gear shifting to this, so then technically it's like having a flappy paddle gearbox. So for those who don't know what a flappy paddle gearbox is, if you look at modern cars like Ferraris, McLarens, Lamborghinis, things like that, the shifter isn't a stick anymore because it's too slow to shift. It's actually up on the steering wheel, and it is literally two flappy pedals, just like these things, for shifting up and shifting down. So, so I may do a little bit of a foray into that and do a little bit of video, and you can watch the tears and recriminations of that. I found that these size sticks are good, but do you know what? If there's one thing I've learned about these sticks from having a go with the other one, it's clearly just a personal preference as to what you prefer. Personally, I don't like anything that's too tall because I've got quite small hands. So, but yeah, I mean, apart from that, I'm incredibly happy with it. I can't tell you how happy I am with it, and the fact that I've decided to buy it around the same time as Double XP coming on COD was like, it's like fate. It was like it was meant to be. So, if any of you are looking for something to ask for people for Christmas, or looking as a gift for another gamer for Christmas, maybe, very, very highly recommended. So yeah, go out and try it. If you go to if you live in the UK, a game are doing this brilliant new scheme, and it's called Belong. Pop along to one of their stores that's got a Belong. You can actually play anything you like. You pay £5, and they've got a choice of PC, PS4, and Xbox, obviously. Which one I'm on now? Wake up, Leanne. So I was in the York game the other day as doing a special guest stream, which unfortunately didn't record properly. It was just frustrating because I would like to have shared that with you. But if you pop on my Facebook, you can see a nice big picture of me in front of their neon sign. So if you're in York, pop in and see them. Manchester, I've got the Manchester Swarm team, and Manchester have one of the biggest and best Belongs in the country. So if you're lucky enough to be able to get to the Trafford Centre, go along and say hi to those guys. But it means that you can come along and test out kit like this and talk to the staff and whatnot. So yeah, until next time, have a fantastic Christmas, folks. And I will probably see you around Christmas time. Probably not Christmas Day because I'll be taking the day off. See you around Christmas time for the Christmas Noob Fest, Christmas Noob time. So take care, and as always, peace.